across our whole life. It's not just from one incident. It's affecting kids, it's affecting adults, it's affecting everybody. And it's something that you need to learn how to deal with, and how it affects your health and how it affects your life. So we have not one but two experts here. We have Dr. Cynthia Ackrill, who's a stress expert. Boy, have I got lots of questions for you. And bonus, Dr. Doris Day, the celebrity dermatologist who has everything that you need to know about skin and how stress affects your skin, because boy, does it do damage there. So good morning, ladies. How are you today?
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Oh, I'm very glad to have you. So, yesterday I got in through my inbox with something about stress and a book and all this stuff about people are having stress in their lives so much that it's the most dominant cause of illness. It affects you more than obesity and all these other things like heart disease and all that combined. What's up with this, and what can we do?
You're right. In fact, it's responsible for 70 to 90% of disease, and not being able to manage your emotions well is a greater risk factor for heart disease and cancer than high cholesterol foods or high blood pressure. So we really do need to pay attention to how we're managing our lives and what that does for the long-term picture.
Wow. That's a huge number.
It is huge, and actually stress is an important part of life. Expecting that stress isn't going to be in life is the first problem, because we live our lives expecting this won't happen, then we're disappointed or upset when it does. Stress is part of life, so we need to come up with ways to be resilient and manage it.
Well, that's a good idea, because it also, and I know this for a fact, I used to have rosacea, and sometimes if I get really stressed out, it will pop up again, but it doesn't much anymore. But there are skin things that occur that are very visible. So a lot of times stress, high blood pressure, people don't see that, but if you see it on somebody's skin from any, kind of irritation on your skin or something as manageable, as dramatic as rosacea can be at times, that it can really, it's so visible that it affects how you feel, makes you feel worse. And how do you deal with all this?
You bring up a great point, and rosacea is a perfect example, because one of the biggest triggers for rosacea is stress, and then the second behind it is alcohol. So it is a common trigger for many conditions that people are prone to. And when I walk in the exam room, I could tell right away when my patients are stressed. It's in their body language, their mannerisms, even in their speech, but it's especially in their skin. They can have a flare of whatever they're prone to, from psoriasis to acne, rosacea, eczema, the things that they do to their skin in terms of picking and scratching, and even in terms of stress shedding. But I also see it in the skin directly. It can look red, blotchy, uneven in skin tone, dull, and even have puffiness around the eyes. So all of these things are from stress signals that are directly in the skin that are triggered when you're going through those emotions. And just by using products in skincare, making small incremental changes, along with other treatments in the office like Botox and Kiehls and lasers, I can have a direct impact on their stress levels that goes way beyond the skin. There's one ingredient in particular that stands out for me, and that's Rosa gallica. And this is found in a new product by Kiehls called Skin Rescuer. And it actually turns off those stress signals in the skin, and that helps improve the skin as a barrier. It's more intact, it's healthier, it behaves like younger, healthier skin, both in the short run by looking less red and more vibrant, but also in the long run helping your skin age more successfully. And that gives me the opportunity to talk with my patients and help them make other changes that goes way beyond skin deep.
Exactly. And so, Dr. Day and Dr. Ackrill, what can they do in terms of emotionally managing the stress? Because if your skin looks better, then you can at least look in the mirror and not feel like, oh my God, I look terrible. But how can they actually do it from the inside out?
That is a wonderful question, and a lot of it has to do with attitude and starting to learn to live more mindfully, making choices that really are part of your values and your heart, taking the time to think about how you're connected and what you want to be thinking and how you want to behave that's going to live out your best life will help you manage that stress. Yes, you're going to get some curveballs, but if the other decisions that you're making are in line with the life you want to lead, then you're really going to feel better. And thank heavens the skin is sort of this flag to say you're out of control, because the other ways that it's silently affecting you don't show. So it's important that the skin gives us this information. And then we have this opportunity. I love that Dr. Day talks to her patients about what's going on that's causing the stress and how can you deal with it.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, because a lot of times you don't get the time to talk to your doctor about those
so
kinds
true.
of things.
It's true. But the conversation doesn't have to be that deep or that extensive. It's really just how...
I think that's a great idea, because a lot of times you don't get the time to talk to your doctor about those
so
kinds
true.
of things.
It's true. But the conversation doesn't have to be that deep or that extensive. It's really just helping patients understand and open that door to say, you know what, this is how you're manifesting your stress. These are things that you can do differently. You know, patients often come in for cosmetic procedures because they're ready to break out of their stress and make that difference. And our job as physicians and dermatologists is to help redirect them by helping them look and feel their very best, but also really truly to go under the skin and redirect in those ways. And usually patients are really open to it. So it's a very, it's very fulfilling for us as physicians to have that impact on our patients and to see that change. Even before they leave the office, they already start to feel better, and they tend to quit smoking and improve their diet and talk to their significant others a little bit differently and make small changes that can make a very big difference.
It's a lovely shift from being reactive to life to being more proactive about life, which is really empowering and does support your emotional health.
I love that, because it's really something that people tend to be reactive and instead need to actually think about, stop, take a deep breath, and think about what you're going to do or say.
And it can be in small
mindfulness.
increments.
Yeah, and it's those little shifts that make such a huge change in the overall outcome that it adds up.
Right, and because if you can reduce the stress, you won't be, furrowing your brow so much where it's like, maybe, let's put it this way, you may still need the Botox, but you probably won't need as much.
Or as often. Absolutely, you're so right.
So people, so this new product that you're talking about, this is from Kiehls, so they can find it at Kiehls store and online and all the places like
exactly.
that, right?
Kiehls.com will have information, and Dr. Ackrill will also put tips there on how to manage stress in your life. So lots of great information on the website.
Super. And if people want to ask either one of you ladies questions, where can they go?
I have my own website, wellspark.com, and there's also a lot of information on stress.org about how to manage the stress in your life.
Okay. And Dr. Day?
Mine is myclearskin.com.
Perfect. People, we'd like to thank Dr. Ackrill and Dr. Day for their amazing information. If you have stress in your life, and if you don't, please let me know where you live so that I can come join you, because quite frankly I do. You need to check out what they're talking about here and look at their websites and look at the Kiehls site for all the information. And why don't you try this new product, because it's definitely worth it, because your skin is one of the first things that people see, and it's one of the first things that takes the hit from the stress. So we'd like to thank you, both you ladies, for your time today. This is Steve for the Ellie Story saying see you soon, people. Bye.
Thank you.